I love playing hard games. And as a person who owns probably a few too many games, no genre makes me happy to play it more than roguelikes and roguelites. Or just procedurally generated games that have complete nonsense going on in them. To anybody who's watching this video and hasn't played or heard of a roguelike is a game that has layout, items, and mechanics locked behind a random factor and forcing the players to reset each run via death or other means of a reset. The name is inspired by the game Rogue, which was a fully random dungeon crawler. Roguelites are similar, but allow the players to make the game easier per run with upgrades to take into the next run, reducing the element of chance. Now, I wasn't always a fan of roguelikes, but I think my love for roguelikes stems from the thrill of luck-based elements in games, with the concepts of a god run truly enticing me to keep trying to get one. I'm also fairly sure a huge factor for many people playing roguelikes is the gambling-like feeling of everything lining up and breaking the game, like getting a Nanamp run in Balatro. The irony of me making a video on my love for difficulty in roguelikes and just roguelike games as a whole is that I don't really remember what my first roguelike I played was. I know I played a ton of games when I was a kid growing up that were roguelikes and roguelike adjacent, but for some reason I can't think of anything older than The Binding of Isaac or Spelunky, maybe Hero Siege, but I think that came out in 2014, which means it's younger than both of those. Now I know I'm already getting close to 2 minutes on this already long-winded intro, but I should make this clear. This video is my opinion, so you don't have to agree with me. I know my reason for my love for roguelikes will not be the same as others. I haven't played every popular roguelike, I don't have every achievement in The Binding of Isaac or Risk of Rain 2. I just enjoy roguelikes a ton. Oddly enough, over the years, I realized that the luck elements of roguelikes weren't what was drawing me in. The factor of skill required to progress in a game adds onto the enjoyment, and something feels much more satisfying about a game when true skill is involved in reaching the end, as opposed to having it handed to you on a silver platter. When I was a kid, I was just good enough to scrape by and beat something here and there, but I also remember the endless frustration of not knowing how to get farther without good luck, because the concept of skill and understanding game mechanics hadn't come to me yet. I much prefer games that really don't get simple due to things going well, and instead give you more options. Slay the Spire is a good example of a game punishing you so suddenly, because it will mess you up on a god run if you forget to calculate in advance for an incoming attack on a high ascension run. On lower runs, you may be able to scrape by and make mistakes, but as you increase difficulty in any game, the room for error becomes minuscule. Now, speaking of minuscule, let's talk about choices. Most roguelikes do a thing that I actually hate the most in them, which is giving the player the option of free choices. I feel like to have more options is a cool factor, but almost every game has a HUD to just give free choices. I personally have come to prefer the this or that option. What I mean is this. Slay the Spire has normally 3 cards to choose from per encounter, giving you the option to make the deck better. But in my opinion, the Busted Crown is a fantastic relic because the game becomes a choice of do I take it or go. While limiting options to a player sounds like a bad thing, I personally think it forces the player to be more aware of what something in a game does. If I get offered free items and have used one of them twice before and I know it's good, why would I ever take something new? Having one item presented makes for the idea of, well, I haven't taken it and I really need something, feel much better when it pays off, and reduces the overall playtime of making sure which of the three perfectly fits your build. Some games do this innately, like The Binding of Isaac or Neon Abyss. This makes the player rely on skill more than luck because the odds of getting what you want drop significantly, but when things do go well, it's even more satisfying because both luck and skill got you to that point in the run. Now I want to clear the air and say this, I don't dislike games that present free choices, I just have come to prefer when they don't. I still love every roguelike that does the free option system. I just have reached a point in my time playing roguelikes where I want to know nice and quick if the run is going all the way or if I'm about to struggle like a newborn child. Awareness, on the other hand, something I lack whenever I play Counter-Strike or Dead by Daylight, is the true guide when playing harder roguelikes. A run's length will greatly shorten upon missing a detail, or worse, by not pathing correctly if that is a mechanic of the game you are playing. I'm looking at you, Noida. Buckshot Roulette is the pinnacle of please be aware, because if you aren't counting those shells, or got distracted and forgot where one is, hence why I deafen in Discord when playing this game, you can kiss that run goodbye because I promise you the dealer is going to punish you. I guess now is a bit late to tell you that you shouldn't eat lead. Sometimes applying the knowledge from one game to another allows you to do better. Like how in any deck builder the words draw more cards automatically makes a card seem better, since expanding on options will always be better than limiting yourself to the first draw. While not a video game, I play Magic the Gathering Drafting, which forces you to really know what cards do and deck build, and I can say I win much more often when I see anything on there that lets me draw or even filter my deck so I can play a win con out and hope that my opponent isn't a blue player who's gonna say nope on every breath I take. See, Nick, even a video about roguelikes can relate back to Magic the Gathering. It's always there, it's always going to haunt you. Now back on a more serious note, I want to touch on two more things that make me enjoy roguelikes. First is optional multiple endings. Some of the best roguelikes I have played are ones that really make a player go back and rerun the game to find more content. Don't get it twisted, I love how you unlock more jokers when you beat a Bellaccio run, and how in Buckshot Roulette you get to take the money or keep trying until you're satisfied or dead. But something feels much more liberating and fun to me when I know a game I play has an ending to the random madness, and that I just need to keep getting better to be able to reach it. Spoiler warning for this part. The first time I defeated the Heart and Slay the Spire, I loved how it felt to beat the harder mini-boss, and having to take less than desirable paths to collect all that you need to get there. Going through multiple endings of Fear and Hunger, which I won't put footage of because I don't want to get banned on my third video, felt really good and let me learn so much of the lore of that terrible dungeon. The addition of extra lore and endings fleshes out a story, and that's all I ever really want. The last thing I want to talk about, and I saved a simple mechanic for last, is increasing in difficulty. Now I'm not talking about picking between easy, medium, or hard. I'm focusing more on the idea of I beat the game, now I can replay the game, and it has an added challenge that has an achievement tied to it. I glossed over this earlier when talking about higher ascension runs and Slay the Spire, but many games have this mechanic in them. Dicey Dungeon has higher dice difficulty, Bellaccio has higher stakes, Bounty of One has infamy, and the list goes on and on. This idea is something more to achieve, like victory wasn't from one run, falls back to that multiple endings concept, but also many of these games don't just increase the health pool of enemies, they make them smarter, hit harder, and have rarer ones appear much more frequently to make the run much more enjoyable. Well, that's about all I have to say about roguelikes. I hope this inspired someone to play roguelikes since they haven't yet, or to go back and replay one that they haven't in years. And saying all this was just nice to get off my chest. Thank you to anybody who watched this through and enjoyed my ramblings. I know I stated in December I'll post 2 videos a month, and this one came out a bit later than I planned, and I'm sick right now. So just know the next video will be slightly lacking in comparison to gameplay and substance, but I found a topic I want to rant about in the making of this video actually. There was a game I mentioned earlier that led me down a super long rabbit hole that made me extremely annoyed, so Be ready for a rant about that and games that have had similar situations happen to them. Thank you for watching.